Shocking secrets are about to explode in Port Charles. Betrayals, shocking returns, and dangerous lies will change everything. Stay tuned for the latest General Hospital spoilers. These days, with Jocelyn trapped in that dark basement at Windermere, facing such severe psychological panic, I find myself sitting on the edge of my recliner, clutching my coffee a little tighter each afternoon. Poor girl has been through so much already in her young life, but this feels different, deeper, more isolating. The dim light, the fear closing in, it all paints a picture of true desperation that reminds me why I fell in love with this soap all those years ago. We viewers know Jocelyn's strength, that fire she inherited from her mother, but seeing her pushed to the brink like this hits hard. What truly moved me, though, was Liesl stepping up in that moment of Jocelyn's weakest hour. Setting aside all those old grudges and rivalries that have defined so much of their history, Liesl drew on her medical expertise and that fierce motherly instinct to calm the young woman down. I've always admired Liesl's complexity. She's made mistakes, no question. But her heart beats loudest when family or those in need are involved. In my view, this scene wasn't just good drama. It showed the show's writers understanding that even the most hardened characters can surprise us with compassion. Liesl's approach felt authentic, like something a seasoned doctor who's seen every kind of crisis would do. It made me reflect on how many times real-life mothers have put differences aside in emergencies. If this doesn't prove redemption arcs can feel earned, I don't know what does. Then came the revelation that shook everything. The man pretending to be Nathan is actually Cassius, his evil twin brother. Liesl laying that out for Jocelyn, the horror in the air thick enough to cut with a knife, my goodness, it sent chills down my spine, even after all these twists I've witnessed. We've followed Nathan's story through joy and tragedy, and learning his twins survived, raised in shadows by their father, only to step into his brother's life, it reframes so much. I have my own theory here that differs a bit from how some fans might see it. Sure, Cassius has done terrible things, but I believe there's a flicker of something redeemable in him, perhaps buried under years of manipulation. The show has hinted at these family ties before, and this twin switch feels like a masterclass in long-term storytelling. It proves General Hospital excels when it digs into bloodlines and secrets that span generations. The empathy blooming between Jocelyn and Liesl in that basement struck me as one of the most poignant developments in recent memory. Both realizing they're pawns in Director Cullum's cold fusion project, that ambitious, dangerous scientific endeavor hidden away on Spoon Island. Cold fusion, with all its promises of unlimited energy and the risks of catastrophe, mirrors the emotional explosions happening in these characters' lives. Jocelyn, young and resourceful, paired with Liesl's sharp intellect and experience, their secret cooperation to exploit weaknesses in the security system feels like a classic underdog alliance. I can picture them whispering plans, testing doors, using every bit of wit they have. It's thrilling because it highlights how different generations can unite against a common threat. In my opinion, this partnership is stronger than many romantic pairings we've seen lately. It's built on survival and mutual respect, not fleeting passion. Of course, as a longtime viewer, I can't help but wonder, will their escape plan succeed on its own, or is fate about to intervene in the most explosive way? The answer comes quickly, with Lucas and Carly gearing up for their own rescue efforts. Carly, ever the protective mother, and Lucas, with his medical skills and determination, they're not sitting idle while Jocelyn suffers. This convergence of storylines creates that perfect soap opera tension I crave. One moment Jocelyn and Liesl are plotting in the shadows, the next we sense help charging toward Windermere. It makes every scene feel urgent, like the next episode could change everything. I've always said the best arcs balance personal struggle with larger-than-life action, and this delivers both. Let me share a personal thought that's been on my mind. Sometimes these high-stakes plots risk feeling too outlandish. But here, the emotional core keeps it grounded. Jocelyn's panic isn't just plot device, it's a reminder of how trauma lingers, even for resilient young women. Liesl's growth, revealing vulnerabilities we rarely see, adds layers that make me root for her harder than ever. And Cassius? His deception raises fascinating questions about identity and what makes a person good or bad. Is he purely villainous or another victim of Faison's legacy? I lean toward the latter. and I suspect the upcoming episodes will challenge that view, perhaps showing moments where he hesitates. That's what keeps me tuning in, the gray areas where characters evolve in unexpected directions. As Jocelyn and Liesl work together, using youth's energy and seasoned cunning, I find myself smiling through the suspense. Their budding alliance could be the key to dismantling Cullum's entire operation. Imagine the payoff when they break free, only to connect with Carly and Lucas's efforts. The potential for reunions, confrontations, and revelations has me buzzing with anticipation. Will Cold Fusion's dangers spill over into Port Charles proper, affecting more lives? How will this reshape family dynamics, especially with Liesl confronting her past through Cassius? These questions linger, but the show answers them with momentum that never lets up. I've seen General Hospital navigate medical mysteries, mob intrigue, and heartfelt romances for years, but this Windermere basement saga stands out for its intimacy amid the chaos. It reminds me why soaps endure. They reflect our own struggles with family, forgiveness, and fighting against overwhelming odds. Liesl's decision to help Jocelyn despite everything speaks to the power of human connection. In a world that often feels divided, watching these two women bond over shared victimhood in Cullum's scheme feels hopeful. Their plan might seem impossible from the outside, but that's the beauty of it. Hope sparks in the darkest places. Pushing forward, the involvement of Lucas and Carly injects fresh energy. Carly's relentless search for her daughter mirrors the fierce love we've come to expect from her. Lucas, balancing his professional life with personal stakes, adds a layer of competence and heart. Together, they're poised to turn the tide, making Jocelyn and Liesl's underground efforts feel even more vital. It's as if the show is weaving individual threads into a tapestry of collective heroism. I appreciate how it avoids easy resolutions, instead building suspense that rewards patient viewers like me. One thing I particularly enjoy is how the writers use these moments for character reflection. Jocelyn learning the truth about Cassius forces her to question trust and appearances, lessons that will serve her well beyond this crisis. Liesl, facing the reality of her twins, must reconcile love with betrayal. Their conversations, though tense, carry wisdom that resonates deeply. As someone who's lived through many seasons, I believe this arc honors the show's legacy while pushing it into new territory. The cold fusion element isn't just sci-fi flair. It symbolizes the volatile mix of ambition and morality at play. Looking ahead, I can't shake the feeling that bigger shocks await. What if Cassius's role complicates the rescue? Or if Cullum's project reaches a critical, dangerous phase just as escape seems near? These possibilities keep the story sizzling. Yet amid the thrills, the human element shines. Mothers protecting children, unlikely friends forming bonds, secrets unraveling at the perfect, dramatic pace. General Hospital continues to prove why it's a staple in so many homes, including mine. What fascinates me most is how this directly impacts the budding alliance between Jocelyn and Liesl. Their shared recognition as pawns in Cullum's grand experiment had already forged a powerful bond, blending Liesl's medical wisdom with Jocelyn's youthful determination. Now, with Cullum distracted or weakened by the assault, the security flaws they've been probing might widen into real opportunities. I ask myself, could this be the break they desperately need? The answer arrives swiftly through Carly's explosive involvement. Carly has always been a force of nature when it comes to protecting her daughter, and right now, she's at the center of a dramatic surge tied directly to Jocelyn's safety. This isn't quiet investigation, it's one of those signature Carly blow-ups that rattles doors and forces truths into the light. Her actions are proving the new troubles brewing, exposing how Cullum's project threatens far more than just the captives in the basement. As a longtime viewer who's cheered Carly through countless storms, I see her current fire as both inspiring and worrisome. She's piecing together clues with Lucas by her side, their family-driven rescue effort gaining unstoppable momentum. Lucas's steady presence complements Carly's intensity perfectly, reminding me why sibling bonds like theirs provide such emotional anchors in the show. Their push intersects beautifully with Jocelyn and Liesl's underground planning, creating that layered suspense I adore. One path might falter, but the other surges forward. This convergence highlights a truth I've long held. General Hospital shines brightest when personal stakes collide with larger threats like Cold Fusion's unstable promises. The attack on Cullum introduces fresh uncertainty that keeps me guessing. Will it buy precious time for the women trapped below, or will it trigger heightened defenses that test their resolve even further? Carly's explosive stand for Jocelyn's safety underscores the new complications, rival factions perhaps sensing weakness or hidden allies emerging from the shadows. In my opinion, this shift proves the writers are masterfully balancing hope with peril. It feels authentic to life, where one person's downfall can spark salvation for others. Liesl's motherly instincts, already on full display as she calmed Jocelyn's panic, will likely prove crucial if chaos erupts above ground. I can't help but admire how these elements weave together without losing the human heart. Jocelyn's psychological struggles in the darkness gain new urgency with external help approaching. The empathy she shares with Liesl, born from their mutual entrapment in Cullum's web, now carries potential for real triumph. Carly's determination adds a maternal parallel that deepens the theme of fierce protection across generations. As someone well past 60 who's followed every chapter, I find this storyline refreshing because it rewards loyalty to the characters we've grown to love. The troubles multiplying around Jocelyn's plight serve as potent reminders of the show's enduring appeal. Safety feels tantalizingly close, yet fraught with obstacles, building that irresistible anticipation for what comes next. Will the attack on Cullum create the perfect diversion, allowing Carly and Lucas to break through just as Jocelyn and Liesl execute their escape? Questions like these make each episode appointment television. Personally, I sense a satisfying convergence ahead, one that honors the resilience of these women while delivering the high drama we crave.